Hi, I'm Jonathan Miller, and this is the first of a three-part film series about a great new program that you can use to help save yourself some money, clean the environment, and help us create green jobs in Kentucky. It's called Kentucky Home Performance, and the program will allow you to get a rebate or to take out a very low-interest loan to do energy efficiency rehabs of your home, making it your energy bills go down dramatically while you're helping us with a very important policy. I consider myself the Cy Sperling of Kentucky Home Performance. You don't know who Cy Sperling is? He was the president of the Hair Club for Men. Watch this commercial.
And our own hair replacement booklet. Just call our toll-free number now. And remember, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
Like Cy Sperling, I'm not only the spokesperson for Kentucky Home Performance, but I'm also a customer. Here's a picture of me earlier looking at my energy bills. It was horrific. But today we started with an energy audit of my residence. I'll take you through that during this episode, and later we'll go through the energy efficiency rehabs as well as the quality check at the end. Welcome.
Secretary Miller.
This is John Sabak, the most famous energy auditor in Kentucky. John, you want to introduce your crew?
Yes. First off, good morning to you. We have Mr. Tim Shuck from Energy Raiders, and we have Mr. Mark Burge from Green Home Services.
Welcome back to my home, and make yourself Sabak. Tell the viewing audience a little bit about yourself and what you're doing here.
Well, again, my name is John Sabak, and I'm with Energy Raiders, and we're based out of Louisville, Kentucky, and we do travel the state. And in a nutshell, I'm actually a building BPI building analyst, and we are now an evaluator underneath the Kentucky Home Performance. And with that said, Kentucky Home Performance is going to help build our business because we are looking to help Kentuckians, if you will, to make their house more energy efficient, watch over health and safety issues, and make sure that their house is as durable as can be. And we're excited to grow with Kentucky.
Well, great. Now take us on the audit of my home.
Okay, excellent. Well, one of the first things that we're going to do is as we look at the home, we're going to try to find out, where are, again, health and safety issues, durability issues, and energy efficiencies that we can help actually upgrade. So as I'm looking at the home, we're going to just do a walkabout. One of the things we noticed is that the house is actually facing north because we see some of the algae that's growing on the top, on the side of the house. And that may be something that we want to concern ourselves with for airflow down the road, but just something to make note. And as we're going to do the walkabout here, one of the things, as we were coming up to the front steps, I noticed that front steps have actually pulled away from the foundation. So there is some type of settling issue that we want to be aware of. Maybe have somebody come on over and actually just address that because that could be a step that somebody misses and somebody falls down. Again, going back to health and safety. One of the other things that we're going to continue to look at is roofing issues, and we see that it's a little damp right now because it had rained just this morning. But an important part of roofing is making sure that there's no bulk moisture coming into the home. And then from roofing standpoint, making sure all flashings are properly installed. And then along with that, we look at the soffit vents. And you can see some perforations right on the porch there. What is very important to make sure that the house is actually breathing right, if there's actually ventilation in the attic or unconditioned space, because we want to make sure that there's a balanced flow. You have proper intake and you have proper exhaust. And there's a simple calculation that we go ahead and we will do that later. But we will actually look at that and calculate that later. Okay? One of the things we talked about when we were in front of the house is about proper ventilation on the roof, and we had pointed out some of the soffit vents. From the rear of the home, we actually see a power fan that's actually up on top of the house. One thing that is concerned is we actually have power fans that are actually based right next door to what we consider box vents. And what will happen is because of those two types or different types of exhaust ventilation, it's short cycling up top. What we're trying to do is get one solid type of intake and one solid type of exhaust, so that when that power fan kicks on, it's pulling air from the soffit, okay, or the overhang, and it's pulling it towards the top. But right now what it'll do is it'll pull air from its closest source or those box vents up on top of the house. And as Mrs. Miller just came home, and she brought the door open, or she opened up the garage door, there is a room on the second floor And I will say this, 99% of homes that I have a bonus room, we call a bonus room over the garage, are too hot in the summer and too cold in the winter. And you can hang meat in there. And there are actually ways of actually fixing that. But that is a cause of concern of many, many homeowners, because what they'll do in the summertime when it gets too hot, they'll go ahead and put one of those individual window units up there just to try to cool it down. So, or they'll close it off in the winter. And that's not what your house was built for. You're built to use your entire house, not just certain sections. Now we've come actually inside the home here, and what we're going to do is do a room by room walkabout, making sure that everything, windows are all locked, working, operable, because again, going back to health and safety, we want to make sure if ever there was a fire, we want to make sure that all the windows actually work. So that would probably be a good idea. So we are now in the great room, considered a great room. And one of the things that I noticed is that these windows here, the window here is actually leaking quite a bit. It's just not set properly. So this would be a concern that we would want to address. And you can actually see that there's some bulk moisture. You can see some of the, I don't know if you can see that with the video camera, but there's actually some moisture that's coming in from that area. And if you actually put your hand here, you can actually feel the air just coming through. And there's a little cobweb there that's actually moving on that too. So here we are in front of one of the windows. Like I said, we're going around the house, just continue to make sure they're all closed and latched properly. One of the things I noticed here is in front of this window, and I've seen this before, is what happens is you actually see some paint flaking off of the wood. And that could be a sign of too much moisture that's in the house, and making sure that, you know, we talked about indoor air quality and so forth. That's a really important area about, again, in health and safety, is that if you start seeing this, you want to check your relative humidity in the home. Okay, one of the things that we have here that I've been carrying on my hip is actually called a personal CO monitor. And we actually zeroed it out outside before we actually came into the home, and it was zeroed out, as you can see. And then as we entered the home, I keep it on my hip all the time, and this will actually start beeping and showing me some of the, if there was any kind of high CO levels.
CO is?
Carbon monoxide. And if it started getting over 25 parts per million, we want to start thinking about ventilating the particular area, and looking to make sure that we rectify the situation with any carbon monoxide protrusion or intrusions into the home. So, okay, back into the great room. You know, we finished up going around the house, making sure all the doors and windows were actually latched and closed, setting up again for wintertime conditions. One of the things that we noticed here was we have a fireplace. Our concern is we were going from the program for just checking of the audit, is we want to find out, well, how often do we actually use that? And making sure that the damper is actually closed for, again, setting up for winter time conditions. If we use our fireplace on a daily basis every other day, we actually have to set up certain conditions with a blower door and making sure it simulates the draw that actually is going to occur from that fireplace. But in this case, in Secretary Miller's house, we actually have a condition where we never really use the fireplace. So we're just going to put the damper, close the damper, and then go from there. Now that we've entered into the kitchen area, a couple things that we noticed immediately is that we have a gas stove. So one of the things we're going to find out a little bit later as we go ahead and check out the CO levels of from undiluted air that's coming into that particular appliance. And then also, one of the things that we have here is a real big energy hog. It could be your refrigerator. So my question is, and always will be, is how old is a refrigerator? And then usually when they're over 15 years old, we're going to be starting to look at, hey, it's a recommendation to go ahead and replace those to an Energy Star refrigerator.
And this is an Energy Star refrigerator.
Awesome. So we're good to go with this one. If I am not mistaken, this beautiful little LG&E KU setback thermostat was actually installed the last time I was actually at the house.
Correct.
So, and have you programmed it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. And this can be a huge money saver, because a lot of times in the you know, at nighttime, you know, if everybody's asleep, you really don't need, you know, especially in the wintertime as we're going into right now, you don't need to have it at 70, 72 degrees. You can actually set it back to say 62, 64 degrees and save that energy. And then have it actually kick on, say at 6:30 or whatever time you actually get up, and then have it warmed up by that time.